So I'm out for my second kayaking trip. This time on the St. Croix River. And on the left side of me is Wisconsin. The right side, Minnesota. And today we'll be going 7 miles from Taylors Falls, Minnesota to Osceola, Wisconsin. It's a really nice day. It's probably in the 80s already. And I chose this river for my second kayaking trip because this is a wild and scenic river, a nationally designated wild and scenic river, and it's the only one in the state of Minnesota and one of 2 in the state of Wisconsin. And I read somewhere, and I don't know if it's true or not, that this is one of the cleanest rivers in the United States. There's kind of a lot of canoeists and kayakers out today. And where I launched out of was out of the Taylors Falls Interstate State Park, which is a state park that's in both Wisconsin and Minnesota at that point. And they have a canoe and kayak rental place right there. And they provide a shuttle service that'll take me back to my Jeep at the end of the day. So that was one of the other reasons why I chose this lake, or this river. It's really shallow in through here. I can see the bottom. The water isn't super clear, but it's clear. And I can see the bottom. Maybe 3 or 4 feet. There's a pretty good wind going the wrong direction. So my first kayaking trip was 3 miles, or 3 to 4 miles. And that river was probably about the same speed as this one. This one seems to be really kind of on the slow side. And this trip's going to be 7 miles, so I'll be going about twice what I did the first time. So we'll see how I hold up with that. It's like a little inlet over there. It's a little bit of rapids-like water. Closest thing to rapids I've been through. Little swirls in the water there. Not really what you would call rapids. There's a bunch of swirls in the water. That's really weird, actually. Got this couple that was leaving just ahead of me over here in the canoe. See the guy in the front not rowing, and the girls in the back rowing, doing all the rowing. It's been like that for a while. Funny. this wind makes it feel like you almost, if you stop paddling, you'd start going back the other direction. The river flows really slow. Really slow. Look at that. That's how fast we're moving. Not paddling. No, it's moving. Not a whole lot though. So that's what they call Rock Island, which seems like a fitting name because it looks like one big rock island. And you really feel like you're like fighting the current, even though you're supposed to be going with it. With this wind, I really feel like I'm going in reverse if I stop paddling. So this is only the second time I've ever gone kayaking. And the first time was on the Rum River, which was really slow moving. This, with this wind today, feels like it's pushing you back the other direction. But I decided, I think, at least at this stage in my kayaking experience, I think I prefer the smaller rivers to these big, wide ones like this. I mean, this is a major river that runs through. I mean, this runs all the way, something I think runs into it from Lake Superior all the way down to the Mississippi River. It's like back in the day was the main thoroughfare for like trading and stuff, like, you know, long time ago. But I think I prefer the smaller rivers to this. There's a lot of people out here, and it's a nice river. I just preferred the paddling on the smaller river. So going forward, at least for the next few trips, I'm gonna have to start looking for small rivers. But I wanted to do this one because of the wild scenic nature of it. And I can see why it's designated that. So that's the first boat. And it's the first boat I've seen, like motorboat. Coming through here. Get pushed into these people. This wind. Do you guys feel like if you stop paddling, you're going the other direction? Yes. God, I thought it was just me. I'm looking, I'm like going, I'm not moving, and I think I'm going backwards.
Oh, we were debating getting like 2 dip separate canoes or 2 separate kayaks.
Oh no, I would gladly take another person right now.
I know, like, we made the right choice.
Yes, you did.
I like to be lazy and she works.
Well, no, but seriously, you stop. I turn sideways and then I'm going back that way.
And then we both stopped for a second to take a picture, and then I was like, we're literally going
Yes,
backwards.
I know. It's the reason I like kayaking on rivers is at least if you stop, the river keeps you moving where you're supposed to go. Like a lake, you got to keep on going, but that's not today. Not on this river.
I'm like, it feels nice, but I'm like, it would be nice if it helped us going that way.
At least a little.
Yeah.
Like back there before it was pushing back, I looked over the side and I'm like, I bet we're not even doing 1 mile an hour.
Right.
Literally, 1. You guys just going to Osceola?
Yeah.
I don't think we're to the halfway mark yet.
No?
I'm ready to get off.
I know. Maybe check twice before that.
Well, I feel like I've worked so hard just to get to here.
Hi.
How you doing? You guys seem to have found a spot that the current actually moves you and you're not fighting it the whole way.
Oh, yeah, it's worse in the middle.
It's way worse in the middle.
We're on the bend, we're all gonna get it.
Oh. Well, take it while you can, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
So I was just thinking that we hadn't even made it to the halfway mark and that it was feeling like a really long day, and now I see the bridge up there, which I think is where we exit. Meaning this is the last little bit. I don't know what time I started. I don't even know what time it is. But that didn't feel like 3 hours. That's definitely a bridge crossing the river. And that's the Osceola Bridge. So that means that's the end of the line right there. So, all in all, this has been a pretty good trip. I definitely prefer the smaller rivers. This one you feel like you're fighting for every inch. And it's probably a river that I'll revisit after I have a little more experience. But right now, it's probably more than what I wanted to do for my second time out. And I found, I'm moving over to the Minnesota side right now because the bridge is there, but I found the Wisconsin side, the current a little friendlier. You didn't feel like you had to fight it as much, and you felt like it was actually maybe even moving you a little bit, whereas over on this side, especially in the middle, you feel like you're fighting it the whole way. So I basically did, this is I think this river is 169 miles long, starts somewhere in Wisconsin, and then finishes at the Mississippi, and 125, the lower 125 miles run the border of Minnesota and Wisconsin. So it's pretty, and I think on a different day where the wind wasn't so strong pushing you back the other way, I'd probably have enjoyed it a little more, just because it's felt like a constant battle. But I can see that bridge. I'm going to see if there's a lighter current over here. I can see the bridge where I need to get out, so I know the end is near. It was just that first, probably the first maybe 3 miles, and I'm totally guessing on how far it was, but that it was a constant battle with the current. And then it got a little better when I stayed right up on the Wisconsin side, because I felt like the current there was actually bringing me down river instead of pushing me back up river like it does on this Minnesota side. Yeah, I'm close to the shore. I'm close to the shore on the Minnesota side. And I'm not really moving. Yep, I'm going to stop in a second. But on the Wisconsin side, the current actually moved you. So anybody thinking of doing this river, at least this portion of it, stick to the Wisconsin side. The current will move you way better than the Minnesota side and way better than the center. At least today with the wind conditions that we have, that's been the case. The Wisconsin side, you could coast for a little bit. On the Minnesota side, you gotta be paddling every step of the way. But the bridge is getting closer. There's a campground right here on the right. This is at least the third campground that I saw a sign for. There was at least two on the Wisconsin side. This is the first one I saw on Minnesota side, but that's because I wasn't on this side most of it. I'm going to end this video here as I'm nearing the end, unless something exciting pops up. And my next river will definitely be a smaller river, because I like those way better, right now anyway. So if you like this kind of stuff, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching. I almost forgot to check the temperature of the water. I have the little scuba dude in the water. He's floating down next to me. See, the current's going the wrong way. Oh, now I'm getting in it. Let's see what he says the temperature of the water is. 72? Wow, the air temperature is only 80. That's pretty good, 72, that's really warm. I wouldn't think it would be that warm, but that's what it says. Back in the current. Oh, so close. It's so far away still. The only wildlife I've seen on this trip. That turtle on the log there. Just sunning.